Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Windy Ridge Bee Yard. Beautiful day today. Current temperature is 75 degrees. The girls are flying like nuts here, bringing in lots of pollen. And we've got bees coming in that are not bringing in pollen, but I suspect they're bringing in nectar because I've got a feeder pail out and there's some bees on it, but they're not hitting it very hard. So I suspect we have some sort of nectar flow coming in here. The girls are happy to get out because we've had we've had clear days, but not a lot of sunshine due to all the smoke from the fires up in Alberta and Manitoba, northern part of there where the forests are burning up again. It's been dry here too. In the past week we've maybe gotten a quarter inch of rain, but as soon as that rain hit, I could see a lot of the what we call the Mayflowers coming out and starting to see them bloom. So we're seeing a lot of, like I said before, a lot of pollen coming in. Seeing the pale yellow pollen, that dark yellow pollen, almost blaze orange, which I believe is dandelion. And looking out through the yard here, I can see we have some dandelions just about ready to sprout. And saw some tan, light brown pollen coming in. Also some white pollen. I think that's from some of the Mayflowers. In fact, I got some right down here inside the bee yard. Take a look, and they've got white pollen on them. So girls are pulling in pollen from all out throughout the woods and the surrounding area here. Also, as you saw, there's a lot of contention in that front entrance down there. There's contention for space, I should say, not between each other. But so we're going to open up, remove that entrance blocker there, and give them, well, rather than a logging trail size entrance, we'll give them more of a 4-lane highway here. They have enough bees in there by now, and to be able to guard that just fine. And we're starting to get consistently warmer weather, so I'm not as concerned about cold getting in there. And speaking of that, it has been now 3 weeks and 3 days since I released the queens. And we've seen, the last time we were in here, a lot of eggs, a lot of milk brood, and even before that or after that we saw some capped honey. Or there's always capped honey in here because I gave them some, but capped brood. But by now, 3 weeks, 21 days and 3 days, so we're up to 24, 25 days now and we should be seeing some emerging adults in there. So I'd like to take a quick look through there and see if we can see any, some of those brood that have been uncapped, and we got nice fuzzy little baby bees in there now. All right, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to suit up here, because the girls don't really like it when I pull their front entrance off. I've had that experience before, and we're going to put in their new front entrances, maybe make them think about something else for a little while other than me coming in through their roof here and disturbing their peace. Well, once inside, we'll also take a look, of course, at the fondant patties and also the pollen patties. But with this much pollen coming in, they might not be all that much interested in it anymore. But then we've had that lousy weather. Cold, been pretty cold, and like I said, with a lot of clear sky, but it was all been blocked by the smoke. So I don't know, we'll see once we get in here. I'm pretty close to out of pollen or fondant patties from Hive Alive, so I'm hoping they do have a nectar flow on. And with the feeding pail out there, a couple 100 feet up that way, they're probably good. So, all right, well, I'll put up the veil and put on my gloves because I also want gloves on for this operation. And let's go change out some of their entrances. All right, I don't want to stand here too long because I am blocking the way for a lot of them. I usually take the hook here, gently try and convince the girls to go away, pull that out, and now, oh, there's one tumbling with a big chunk of wax. Here, we'll help you out there, young lady. There we go. And we'll put this in. Hopefully it fits. This is a brand new one. Sometimes there's a little bit of, nope, a little bit of adjustment I have to do. Now, they got a pretty nice entrance there. Look at, they're looking like, hey, what happened? Goodness gracious. Well, let's keep going down the line here. We'll do the next one, and I can get out of the way of all the other bees trying to get in here. Well, they got this one has a little more excited about me being here. They got a bunch of sawdust there, but they can clean that out themselves. So let's get that in. Look out, look out, look out, look out. Don't want to cut you in half. There we go. There we go. Well, so far, 2 down. I'm not going to replace the entrance on this hive number 3 because it's kind of the weakest hive here, although they do have a fair amount of bees going in and out. I'm really glad to see that. But since it's the weakest, and I haven't gone through and cleaned out the hive or rotated things yet, that's hopefully sometime in the next couple days. We'll keep going. Now we're down here with the Italianos. I should mention that the queen is Italiano. All the other bees look to be a buckfast variety. And this is going to be a tight one. There we go. Maybe you heard that one snap. But they may have already purplized that in a little bit. Alright, they're pretty excited about that happening, so hurry up and give them an entrance back here. And try not to crush any. There. Well, they seem to enjoy that already. Boy, there were a bunch of bees waiting for me to get out of the way. All of a sudden, a massive amount of them just come flying in. And this one, same thing here. A little bit of sawdust there. And see if we can get these in without slicing and dicing anything. That looks good. Hive number 6. The new Italianos. Pretty excited about having Italians. That's the first time I've had Italians. I've always gotten Carniolans. Last year I had a couple hives dead out on me early on, and I got some Saskatraz queens, and honestly, I don't know if it was the hives had the problem or if the Saskatraz queen did, but they didn't do too well. They did not survive. One of them did not survive summer even, and the other one did not survive winter. So I don't know. Well, what I'm going to do with these new Italian queens is I've got a couple people that I know have requested some pollination services around their house, the yard and whatnot, and one elderly gentleman just wants to watch the bees, so I'm going to take these Italians down there, since they're usually pretty well behaved, and we'll get them in those positions. All right. As I'm here, I'm going to try and make sure we're cleaned out here. Yeah, there's some gunk coming out here. I have to get in here and clean out these bottom boards. I'll just do a little bit of a clean here just to make sure I don't put this back in and it's blocked by some others. So that was a center entrance, and now I just moved it over to the side. As I stood up, a bunch of bees were out waiting in the queue for me to get out of the way. There's some white pollen there, the blaze orange, yellow, the tan. They're all hitting their heads where the entrance used to be. Some of them already found the new entrance. So they'll figure it out here, and by the time they come back out and head out for the next round of pollen and nectar. So there, replace those entrances. That'll help them just a bit. They're doing good. Looks like chewed away that pollen patty. Seems to me that was pretty well chewed away before. We got some edging done here, some edges here, so they're doing that. They're still working on the fondant, and that's great. That's great. So that's really all I wanted to do, except I do want to check on one of the frames here in the middle, and we'll see if we can see how active they are with broods. I'll move this over. Try and remember to go slow. I'm usually in too much of a hurry, and these girls don't like me being in that much of a hurry. I'm trying to remember this time not to stand in front of the camera so much. As like a lot of people, I prefer to be on the back side of the camera. There we go. Look at that. As I'm looking down into these cells that I've opened up, you can see how the brood is all around the edges yet, and everything in the middle has opened up. They're even putting some pollen in there, which kind of makes sense because they got a lot of pollen coming in. They need to make space for that. But we got them working on that. So, and I see not new eggs there. They are all the way leaned over, so those are about 3-day-old eggs all the way in through here. And so, by golly, that makes sense. 21 days from when queen was released, they emerged, and now 3 days later, I've got eggs that are no longer standing upright. They've bent over. So, right on schedule here. So, a lot of new bees. I see a lot of fuzzy merged bees here. Let's see if we can find one here that is emerging. I'm not so sure that one just came out, but I'm not so sure it was. Well, we got a technical difficulties there. The camera came up with an error code telling me, hey, I'm getting too hot, so we missed a lot of what I said here. And even though I've got a white cloth over the top to try and reflect sun away. Still saying, hey, I'm getting too hot. So we'll make this pretty quick. At last bit we were looking for emerging bees and did not see any on this side, although I do see a lot of fuzzy new beads in here. And take a look on this side. We can see in here I saw a bunch of eggs, fairly new eggs. You know, they were about half mast or so. You know, if the queen first lays an egg, it stays straight up in the cell. Then by day 2 it's like this, and by day 3 it's all the way over, and that's when it hatches into larvae, and then that's when they start to put the royal jelly on the larvae right away. So I do not see any emerging as I try and scan around here. We got one girl down here who's pretty excited about something. Trying to tell others about it. Here we got another waggle dance here. Girls running around with pollen on their pollen baskets. Oh, here's another gal here. Trying to convince everybody. So here we go. Well, we're going to put these back in, and I'm going to check out the, make sure we're still recording. Yep, yay, we haven't heated up too much yet. Judging by the amount of bees in here, I don't actually count frames of bees, I count the gaps that are full, which is kind of basically the same thing, but it makes more sense because, at least to me, you know, it's engineers. So I've got a gap full of bees, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe with the bees on each the end here, 7.5, 8. So we're getting close to wanting to put a box on top here. So I will clean up boxes I just pulled out as the dead outs, and we'll get those ready to be put on here. Now I'm thinking that the rest of these hives are going to be about the same conditions, so I will be getting a number of boxes ready. But I'm going to go down the rest of the hives here. No need to stay tuned. They probably all look pretty much the same as this. But if I see something exciting, we'll turn the camera back on, assuming it's still on. It is still on, so we haven't overheated yet. Time to do a little research on the GoPro Hero 11 and see anybody else is reporting problems with overheating out here in the sunlight. Imagine that, 75 degrees and it's overheating. You'd expect, okay, it was 90, 95 degrees. Yeah, we'd have an excuse for overheating, but not in this relatively cool weather. Well, so be it. Maybe I have to make a little mini umbrella, a white mini umbrella for the camera, so it will keep the sunshine off. There we go. And I'll head down the line here and check in on the rest of them. And probably do a recap once we get to the last one, after the last one. Well, a little recap on that. I will say all the new hives look great. The last new hive down there in position number 6 might be a little bit behind all the others, but there was a lot of brood in there that had not emerged yet. Some real dark cappings on it, so I know they're very close. And a lot of new brood in there too, so they're just a little bit behind. But as I stated before, I am going to go get some boxes ready for these girls, and we will put some new boxes on in the next couple days, because I did notice throughout all of them, like we saw in the first one here, that they're not resource bound yet, but they've got nectar coming in, or maybe from my sugar water feeding pail up there, and they got a lot of pollen coming in. So I can see that there could be some contention if I don't put something else in for the queen to start laying up more eggs here, getting more brood, so we can get a nice, well, hopefully a harvest out of the new ones. We'll see. Anyway, build up the numbers. All right, that's it for today, and we'll catch you again on the next video. Thank you for watching this episode from Windy Ridge Apiaries. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on any newly posted videos. And at your discretion, please leave a comment below. And until next time, do a good day.